Yesterday, a joint inauguration ceremony was held for the 13 Project Hope schools in Sichuan, built by Tzu Chi following the quake of 2008. And much of today's program will be dedicated to related news. Of the 13 schools in cities and townships surrounding Chengdu, some began classes as early as April of this year, while the last two, Yangliu and Hantan in Jintang County, will begin classes next week. This is a symbolic handover ritual as Tzu Chi Foundation Deputy Director Wang Duanzhen passes on a plan to a representative for the 13 local schools built by Tzu Chi in the aftermath of the Great Sichuan quake, and reads out Master Zeng Yan's letter of blessing. Government officials, including the president of the Association for Relations Across the Taiwan Strait, Chen Yunlin, as well as representatives from the Bureau of Religious Affairs and delegates from Sichuan province, all came to witness this historical moment. Tzu Chi's Project Hope program in Sichuan, China has at last come to a conclusion. Now children can attend school in a safe environment, where they can not only obtain knowledge, but also cultivate proper social values. Today we look back at how these 13 schools are being resurrected by Tzu Chi's great love.
On May 12, 2008, an 8.0 magnitude struck Sichuan, China, bringing death and destruction to this heavenly country. The disaster also sent a shock across the Taiwan Strait to the hearts of Taiwan's people.
呼天口地、撕破心肠的哀嚎的声音，真的实在是很不忍。好，谢谢你。
Standing with the quake victims, more than 15,000 Tzu Chi volunteers arrived in Sichuan, bringing their love and support. The unprecedented disaster inspired love from all over the world, which began to pour into Sichuan. Here, more than 7,000 schools were either damaged or destroyed during the quake. Thus, in the towns of Mianyang, Deyang, Chengdu, and Ya'an, Tzu Chi decided to help rebuild 13 schools. To safeguard children's future, these Project Hope schools must be built like a fortress. Tzu Chi's construction volunteers have been constantly on site to make sure the standards are met.
If they do not take my advice, I keep on persuading them until they do. In this way, I can ensure that the quality of construction is there, and that is exactly what we want.
The work demands high standards of quality, so the worker asked for more money. In the end, I lost over $400,000, but I learned a lot of construction techniques. Yeah, $400,000 is no pocket change, but it's all in the name of charity.
In Ya'an, the classic design of the Qianjing Tzu Chi Elementary has made the school a new local landmark.
The sturdy and quality construction here is truly exciting and wonderful. It's been more than 2 years. When the quake struck, we were all on the track field, just watching the school wobble. Now we're back, safer than ever.
The new school and new uniform symbolize a whole new beginning. Tzu Chi also hopes to impart its humanity into children's education to enhance their overall development.
The truth is, these structures are not made of bricks and cement, but of love. So we must invest even more love to nurture and educate every one of our students.
I think we can use Jing Si aphorisms to inspire both our teachers and students.
Good things that inspire goodness and true beauty should be seeded and cultivated.
Tzu Chi's Project Hope not only aims to provide children a safe shelter to learn, but also to inspire filial gratitude and environmental conservation in their life.
I have done many bad things to my father and mother, so I want to take this opportunity to apologize to them.
A proper education gives children the chance at a better future, but knowledge is meaningless without proper values. That is the true goal of Tzu Chi's Project Hope, to make these children the hope of our future by instilling knowledge and good values.
The joint inauguration was held at Luosui Tzu Chi High School in Sifang. Before the event, we caught up with teachers and students at Luosui Elementary, Luosui High, and Fountain High schools, busily rehearsing for the big day.
The excitement is evident. Following Sichuan's great 2008 earthquake, Tzu Chi has been working hard to help rebuild 13 local schools. Students and teachers are rehearsing hard for the grand opening.
The new school was made for us from the blood and sweat of Tzu Chi volunteers. When the students consider these new classrooms, they get really excited, so we feel very thankful.
These local families know well that the school built by Tzu Chi was paid for with love and charity, and that purity infuses their own enthusiasm.
We want to thank you Taiwanese people for doing so much for us, for helping us with so much. You have done such a good job.
With the big day approaching, the teachers feel a heightened sense of responsibility. Tzu Chi's demonstration of love here has raised their own expectations for themselves.
These 2 years will be hard to forget, because even though the conditions were tight, I think it's safe to say that Tzu Chi helped us overcome a great many difficulties and strengthened the will of both students and faculty.
Student Ma Shipeng has himself felt a calling. He wants to study Tzu Chi's love and become a doctor so he can help others.
I want to show I care, so that everyone will know there is sincere love in the world.
Ever since May 12, 2008, Tzu Chi has been at our sides practically every day. This handover ceremony is a very potent example of how the blood shared by the two sides of the Taiwan Strait is thicker than water, and an excellent example of Tzu Chi's spirit of love.
The children here are singing Sichuan is still beautiful, communicating through music that no earthquake can kill the spirit of this people, nor sever their love for this beautiful land. On their faces, one sees the purest hope for the future.
We now turn our attention to children of the Sichuan quake. If you have been following the dire headlines for the past few days, you might remember meeting the boy Wu Jian, who is working towards a better future with his hard-working parents at his side in Jingtang County. Today we meet his classmate Lai Meilin, whose parents chose to work elsewhere to support the family, leaving her behind to live with her grandma. Even with perfect score, the satisfaction is only a flash in the pan on Lai Meilin's face. The little girl and her grandma depend just on one another, living in this desolate house.
This is a picture of my mom. This is my dad. I don't have any recent ones. I don't have any pictures together with my parents. When my dad was still at home, Mom left already. I'm 12 years old now. My parents have been out working for 6 years. I've always thought about having them by my side, yet they're not. Like when we have parent meetings, my teacher would ask for my mom and dad, but I could only bring grandma. I have to keep on, though I want my parents back home. They're working very hard elsewhere to support me with my studies.
Mei Lin's parents are unable to share the happiness of their daughters growing up, but the girl is grateful to still have her grandmother with her.
My grandma has been taking care of me. One time I was down with a flu. My grandma took me to the hospital. She carried me on her back and walked from home to the hospital.
At that time, she couldn't walk. I pulled her along, but she just couldn't make it there. So I had to carry her on my back. I carried her for a bit and rested for a bit.
When I grow up, I will carry my grandma on my back too.
Looking after one another, the pair tends to their home and also this paddy field, while the old lady bends her back to hold the soil. Mei Lin plants the seedlings. Despite the lack of quality time spent with her parents, Mei Lin is turning her sorrow into motivation so that her parents' toil does not go in vain. The road to school takes some 40 minutes to walk, but Mei Lin finds good companionship along the way. The Hantan Tzu Chi Elementary School will become Mei Lin's new campus. She is putting her dream school to paper. The mind can travel anywhere your imagination may take you, and for Mei Lin's parents, they will keep this caring angel close to their hearts at all times. In our next story from Sichuan, we meet 15-year-old high school sophomore Zhang Zilan. Abandoned by her birth parents, Zilan was adopted, but in 2008 she was orphaned again when her mother was killed by the earthquake. Brave Zilan was chosen to be an Olympic torchbearer and is now attending Fangting Tzu Chi High School. The smiles that fill the brand new Fangting Tzu Chi High School were not easy to come by.
I think the new school is great. I like everything. The desk, everything is just great. Everything is wonderful.
A school is most fundamentally its students and teachers, and this is more true for Fangting than most schools today. For its students and teachers, along with the parents, helped put the school together after the 2008 quake.
Tzu Chi came to help us, and traditional Chinese values dictate that we should let the students experience themselves how this school, resurrected by universal love, came together.
Though she has no special characteristics to differentiate her from any of the other students in this body, Zhang Zilan has enjoyed a really remarkable past.
目前在云南丽江孤儿学校就读的我是方亭中学初一学生张子兰，和1996年丽江地震时出生的丽江纳西族男孩何振生共同完成了奥运圣火，在丽江境内的第一棒场地。
of Yunnan Province. She was sent there by the government after the earthquake for post-disaster therapy.
I can't cook this vegetable.
After a year in the Yunnan school, Zilan moved back to Sichuan to be reunited with her remaining family, her adopted father. After Zilan was born, she was abandoned, then adopted. When the 2008 quake hit Sichuan, Zilan lost her adopted mother, making her doubly orphaned. Zilan is an adoptable young woman though, and thrived in Yunnan just as well as she does at home. Now she worries about her adopted father the most. Her school's counselor pointed out the strong bond shared between this father and daughter pair.
Smoking is bad for the body.
Zilan got to thinking about her father smoking and told him if he stopped, she wouldn't take her cell phone to school.
Exchanging love for love, Zilan gave up the cell phone that had been so important to her in Yunnan so that she could improve her father's health and make their remaining life together both longer and happier. Zilan's father sees his daughter as a treasure and is always happy to accompany her and help her enroll in school or move into her dorm room, dorms that are now safe and solid like never before, giving this father a most precious confidence in his beloved daughter's future. All thanks to Tzu Chi and you.